Here we go again. It's another day on the little red wagon. No, actually it's not. I got some stuff to do outside. Let's go outside and get some stuff done. So here's the deal. I don't know if you can hear it or you can smell it, but you should be able to see it. It's getting green and pretty out here, which means I'm behind in any farm work that I have to do. I don't have to do any farm work, right? This is a hobby. But I'm behind in the farm work I want to do. So I'm going to try to get a little bit of stuff done tonight and get myself set up for a little bit more success tomorrow with one of these little farm projects. It's been bugging me for a little bit now. So we get to get out the Massey Harris Model 33 and fire this girl up and see how she runs today. It hasn't moved since I parked it here after my last cutting of hay, so that would have been back in September. We're in April now, so it's been sitting here with the hay rake on it. Hopefully it'll start up and then we can hook it up to another piece of equipment and get some stuff done. Now, truth be told, I should be mowing my lawn right now. It's starting to get away from me, but instead, I want to drive my tractor. I've got a riding lawnmower. That should be fun. You ever notice, whoops, about how dangerous these old hay rakes are? They never have a jack on them anymore because you turn so tight, you end up, the other guy ends up ripping the jack off of the frame, leaving you with this deadly dangerous torture device known as a handyman jack. And a few wooden blocks. That's not going anywhere. Now, I haven't started this since I think September. Yeah, we have some kind of a liquid sloshing around in the tank there. So it's either gasoline or straight water. Let's see what happens. All right. For as close as this is to being a restoration, I still have so many little details. Let's try a little choke. Yeah, that's funny. My throttle was wide open. Let's go to half open. No choke. This is a cool old tractor. About no jacks on my hay rake. I don't have one on my manure spreader either. If I had that, I'll turn down a little bit too low. So this PTO shaft is missing. There's this theme here, right? None of my stuff has what it's supposed to. It's missing the spring plunger to lock it on. But most PTO shafts have a hole drilled in them, and so do your PTO coupler, and so you can just slip a bolt through there to keep that in place. Right to there. Slide the carriage bolt through. Let's see if this thing wiggles like a manure spreader. One thing about this Mexican hair is it's got a live PTO, which means the opposite of what you think it means. It means the PTO is controlled by the clutch. Where's my PTO lever? There it is. So, PTO engaged, nothing spins until I release the clutch. Now, it's been a minute since I used this manure spreader, but when I put it away, I lubricated it, and it should be good to go. Now we got to go travel to the load. I might have this seat one notch too far back. Drive. Turning good. Sorry, I'm being a jackwagon. Here's the deal. I got a haystack here at the very front. That stuff that's stacked on top that's not touching the ground, that's good hay. I can go ahead and feed that. But my animals, they're not interested in hay at this exact moment because we got fresh green stuff coming up. Everything that's been touching the ground and that haystack back there, that's old. That's not good hay anymore. So I want to take that not good hay and I want to put it back out on my fields. Basically, let's see if I can get down here without dying. I normally turn around to do that. I've got the bottom end of my little field right out here, right? So just past this fence, the west end of that field, it's not a good field. It's missing a lot of organic matter. And so I want to just spread this hay back out to act as mulch, and over time that's going to break down into the dirt and give me some soil. So two things: I'm going to improve my fields and I'm going to clean up this hay. So this hay on top, I'll throw that in my truck and we'll go ahead and we'll put it out here for the animals to nose through, and we'll let them eat it. This hay back here, yeah, it's in pretty rough shape. It'll get thrown in the manure spreader. I'll cut the twine so that we don't end up with it all wrapped around my my beaters and whatnot back here, and we'll go spread it out on that field. So less yapping, more stacking, unstacking, more work. Get to work is what I'm saying. So each one gets stacked up. I could also just throw it in the truck and cut it and kick it out of the back of the truck. And this way it spreads it out much smoother than I can kicking out of the back of the truck. If I kick it out of the back of the truck, then I have to run over past it with my disc, with my harrows, not my disc, but just my spring tooth or spike tooth harrows to kind of spread it out a little bit. And then it's just more work, I guess, I think. So, as you can see, this hay here on the ground, I could throw it out there and let my animals nose through it, but it's not, I don't need to. I've got more hay than I know what to do with right now. And there's risk, right? Old moldy hay, it's not good to eat. So we'll throw it all in here, cut the twine as we go. I need a better knife than this one because I'm gonna end up stabbing myself like right in the face, or I'll put it with the open blade in my pocket, and you know, it's what I'm saying is it's going to get me. Some of these bales are all dry and shattery and ready to just explode. Don't even have to cut this twine on them. I can just slip it right off. I think you get the picture. I take a little bit of time. I pick up this moldy, waterlogged, soggy, and really old hay. Throw it in my manure spreader. I can get quite a bit more in here, but throw it in the manure spreader, and then we'll head out and we'll fling it out. It's like flinging poo, but not exactly. First load's on the manure spreader. I can't really stack it any higher than that. It'll just want to fall off. 18 bales on there. I probably have another 6. I can only call that 6 or 7. I probably have another 8 loads to go after this one. And you can see here, heavy, wet, nasty. It's decaying. It's going to make great mulch for the fields. That's what it'll do. Hey, this does have a jack. I wonder why I've never got it running. Huh. I'll have to look at that someday. You know, in all my spare time. Soggy spot up there. Hopefully we don't tear it up too bad. We're going to try 3rd gear somewhere around half throttle. PTO in. Let's see what this thing does. Oh, not enough throttle. That's a problem with the live PTO. Here's the solution. This is my hand clutch. I pull it back. I can now release the hand clutch. It's still not great. Boy, it kicked off a lot of hay right at the beginning. That's all right. We're going to dump a bunch right here. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of gear and just let it feed it. Fill in that low muddy spot a little bit. get to the end of the load, it feeds out less. Well, that thing's old. It's poorly maintained. So I take what I can get out of it. I just enjoy what it gives me. That's the process. It's going to pay dividends over the years. I'm playing the long game with these fields. Throw as much organics on them as I can when I can. I've got a neighbor with goats. He's got a lot of manure, and I just got to find the time to go help him out and help me out. Charging, oil pressure. Actually, that oil pressure is a little bit high. It's supposed to run 10 psi, but I adjusted the oil pump to give me a little more pressure. I don't know if that was the right thing to do, but I did it anyway. And we're going to run that like that for as long as it runs. Not even getting hot at all. So, well, it shouldn't. We're not really working it. Yeah. All right, let's go get another load on. We can go get a load or so more done tonight. Well, I'm out of light, probably close to out of fuel. It's time to go in and call it a night. I'll load this up one more time. Here's the deal. I enjoy this kind of stuff. It's good for the land. It's good for the soul. It's good to start up these old tractors and run them a little bit, and maybe even get this engine broken a little bit better so I can actually start pulling with it.
The next day.
that's the last load of that oldie moldy hay. I threw some garden waste, some corn stalks and whatnot on there as well. Hopefully that'll all make it out in the field and not end up on the driveway. Yeah, maybe it'll even grow a little corn out there this year. Highly unlikely. Let's go dump this load and move on to the next thing. I don't even know what that is. We'll figure it out when we get there. Why did I do this, right? I've just covered up all my hay, my grass in here. It's not going to get any light. It's all going to die off. And I've ruined this field. Right, I've got the bottom half, 2/3 of this field that I've thrown. It's got all this spiny vetch, that cheatgrass seed in there. That's all going to sprout and grow like a weed. Why am I doing this? I cut this field once last year. I got about 1 ton off of this field. That 1 ton all came from what's sitting up there in the green. Everything down in here, I might have got, so the bottom 2/3 of the field might have given me 20% of the tonnage. Right, there's just nothing growing in here. There's far too much clay, far too much alkali. I've got to get this soil conditioned. That's what we're doing. That cheatgrass, if that grows, good on it. I'm just fine with that. Here's my plan for this field for this next couple of years. I'm not going to hay it. Most of the thing I want to do with it is I'm just going to clip it. So I'll come out here. If I start to see that cheatgrass go to seed, I'll come up here and clip it off. Try to get some more organic matter down on here. I'm not even going to put my animals on this field for a little while until this stuff fully breaks down. I don't even want them nosing through all this moldy garbage. I think it's going to pay dividends. This field has potential. It's a small field. It's like an acre, if that. But I should get 4-5 tons of hay off of it a year. Not 1. If I'd have cut it again, I might have gotten 2. So it's only about half as productive as it should be. We've got to get this thing in better shape. I could spend the money and bring out a fertilizer cart and fertilize it with commercial fertilizer. I've done that in the past, and you get a quick little boom for a year, maybe 2, but you don't get that long-term return on your investment. So I'm happy with what we've accomplished here. We got rid of some piles of moldy hay. It wasn't good hay to begin with. I was never going to feed that hay. I cut that hay off of another field that I was working on because it was mainly weeds, right? It was mainly that cheatgrass. It was, I don't even know what you call it, a really stemmy weed. And yeah, I planted that out here, but that's okay. You start clipping those things and they die out, and you get either good tough native grasses coming in, or you can go ahead and seed it with some good pasture blend, or maybe even some alfalfa if we can get to that point. That's a long ways down the road though. You can do it the fast way, or you can do it the long way. I like the long way on stuff like this. I'm going to let this sit out here. I'm going to water this field up, and honestly, I suspect a lot of these tough native grasses, they'll poke right on through this layer of mulch. They'll grow right on up. It won't set them back at all. So they're going to grow up. They're going to poke through here, and they're going to use that nutrition. Tractor. Okay, I rebuilt it. I don't have a lot of hours on it yet. Just a couple of tanks of fuel, a couple of little things, right? I've got a hose I better replace, or at least tighten down. So we've got a hydraulic fluid leak right there. Interestingly enough, I don't even use the hydraulic. That's the thing. I got a hydraulic leak there, and I've got a hydraulic leak on the ram here. I don't have any hydraulic setup on this tractor. It's like, oh, and it's leaking. I don't even need it. That's okay. We'll fix it, and maybe we'll start utilizing those hydraulics at some point. When I first started it up, it wasn't running great. I seem to have lost some of my bottom end, right? Some of the torque is what I'm talking about. And so I don't know if I can adjust the carburetor to get some of that torque back, or what I can do. This still bugs me. I haven't fixed that headlight. and that one's just empty. So I've got the other headlight bucket to go here, but I've got to clean it up and paint it. I missed that during the whole rebuild part. It was tucked away in the corner of my barn. Honestly though, put in a fresh tank of fuel. It's been running good. You know, it's not a torque monster. It's not a high power tractor. That live PTO, that's kind of a pain in the neck, because when you take off, you're utilizing the PTO power and starting to get that tractor rolling at the same time. The two of those makes it tougher to start, makes it not ideal for a PTO driven equipment, but it's working. My New Holland, I don't even remember which model this is. I'll have to see if I can find a sticker or tag on here. It ran great. It's a pretty neat old manure spreader. I mean, they're pretty simple. It needs a lot of love. It's a prime candidate for either a rebuild, refresh, or just flat out scrapping. But it did the job. This is a lot less work and a lot cleaner than me throwing it all in the back of a truck and then taking it out here and kicking it off and throwing it back here. Yeah, that wouldn't have been any fun at all. So, hey, Alkali Flat Hobby Farm. If you guys can think of a better name for my channel, I am open to better names. Hit me up in the comments with a better name of what's more apropos. But I'm happy with what we got done today. A little bit of farming. It's springtime. Let's do some farming. Oh, look at that. No, it didn't. I thought it had adjusted itself down again. It hasn't. It's fine. Just ignore that part. Maybe I'll edit it out. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Yeah, get ready for a little bit more farming content. It's springtime. It's time to get some farming done. I should have done this last fall. I just didn't have time. And once it got wet here, it stayed wet all winter. I had no chance to get in this field once again because of the clay nature of this field. As soon as wintertime hit, if I'd have come out here, I'd have just put great big huge ruts in the field, and that's counterproductive. But yeah, we've got some work to do. We've got that field that I plowed up and leveled last year. We got some more leveling to do on that. I got some low spots identified over the winter. We'll level that up a little bit. We're going to seed that field with some pasture blend, try to get that going, try to get that thing irrigating. I'm thinking about my best field over there. I've got a portion of it that just doesn't want to get water on it. And so I would have to plow it, disc it, then scrape it to lower a certain portion of it and to get it to irrigate better. I'm thinking about that. It's kind of late to start that, but I don't need the hay. I've only got the 3 animals, and I've got enough hay in my barn that if I went ahead and got a few more animals, I'd be okay for at least a year, maybe more. Yeah. Anyways, it's springtime. It's time to put the farm back in my channel. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Get outside and do something. You'll thank me for it. Catch you on the next video.